I mean, I don't know. I've heard that there's going to be some sort of roster. Well, I guess from previous E2F roster, there's some people changing up. Although I think most of the people are staying the same, as far as I know. Interesting thing here is going to be Murphy, I think, playing instead of Nubby. So I think that's immediately going to bring some change to SDCK, but I still feel like SDCK might just take this, but I do feel it's going to be closer than the E2F World Finals. But I don't know, we'll wait and see, because obviously they've got to adapt to these new maps.
Also, to give you some history onto the season, but first of all, map picks and bans as we'll get them shown onto the screen right now. As I mentioned, the maps we're playing tonight, but this is not the full story, as SDCK were the first ones to actually ban a map, and they banned Coal Plant. Then Feila banned Gullywash, and then Feila picked Upward, SDCK picked Badwater, and SDCK also, being the higher seed, were able to pick the deciding map, which is Product. And going on to that term, basically, why were they the top seed? Well, because they... Wait, no, sorry. Did they? No, I think Feila was the top seed. Never mind. So this is some weird roster. Yeah,
in the Russian one.
Yeah, it's an interesting rule set. So actually, Feila were the top seed because they lost to SDCK in the season itself, but they still got more points because they got 3 forfeit wins. So
wow,
that of
easy
the
class.
just stealing points all over the season. So that for that. We can get a bit analytical about this as we progress and actually see the teams play, why they banned the maps and why they picked the maps. But first of all, Buck, what is your opinion on this very new refined Upward map we're playing tonight here?
I mean, first impressions is it's pretty much the same, but there's going to be some key differences, mainly on third and on last. I think the last change, when we get to it, like the connector that leads straight to upper from spawn, is going to be completely sort of game changing, I suppose, in the way defense holds. But I think we'll probably make up our opinion on it after we see the gameplay on it, because we'll see sort of how much people actually abuse the new things that have happened in the new version. But in terms of these sort of in terms of like the new sort of Badwater version, I've seen like a bit of it. I think that's the one with the new roof spawn. So maybe it'll make roof holds a bit more viable. And it'd be interesting to see the gameplay happening.
Yeah, also they opened up the first point a lot. The houses has new flanks in itself, and then we have a little side nug on the lower right where medics, unspecified medics can hide, so they don't get dropped so easily. So basically the suicide wave probably has to be changed. Also, you can just put a dispenser in front, so it's quite secure. But to be quite fair, I think people have been lauding this, or kind of a sense of, wow, medic's so safe, I mean, other things can still die through the suicide wave. You can basically kill everything else, and your heals are quite passive in there, so I would say that's already a counter argument why this is probably not so good as it might seem at first glance. Then moving on to the second point, we have a weird rock on the tracks, but we'll probably get to that as we advance through the course of this game. The people are still taking their sweet time to join in, but Buck, did you already pick your favorite side? You can get chastised if you're incorrect.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, look at these rosters. It's pretty much like I said before. It's going to be basically the same. I think we just got Murphy switching up. I mean, do you want to start going down the rosters? I might as well go down the SDCK one, because I think most of the players are in before they join.
Sure,
so I think looking at it, I'll go down the SDCK one. So I think we're going to have May playing Scout, as per usual. We're going to have Jackie Legs when he joins. There we go, just joined. He's going to be playing Soldier. Yahoo, typical Pyro. We're going to have Murphy, I think, on Demo, like I said before. Got Poker on Heavy, Clark on NG, team leader. And we got Gedu on Medic, Kazarok, who's aliased as Arthur, going to be playing Sniper for them, and then obviously Mezzo on the Spy.
There we have it. And opposing them tonight, as I was saying, the runners-up on the recent ETF2L season. The biggest difference, though, from ETF2L to this matchup, to this very matchup, why they should try so much harder, because you actually have earthly valuable resource and an actual prize pool tonight, so they actually have that going for them. Actual keys, and I think other prizes as well. So, I mean, if you're into that, for the game, you can definitely see how much these people can earn. But on the opposing side, we have on the scout class Utgar. Seeing him from the recent season, he's just pounding these players. Honestly, whenever I casted, I saw him getting like 7 or 6 Ks, just running around, doing a lot of stuff actually. The soldier class, Roboprod, I think a bit more of a silent, but nonetheless resilient player. I would say he's just doing solid work in the background. Maybe we'll see a lot from him if he maybe goes unchecked. Then Pyro Vclocks _. Yeah, that's a name that people know, and that's a Pyro who can perform, but he's basically jetpacking forward or just protecting Layla, who is on medic, as the countdown goes down so quickly. Joe NUFC, Joe Newcastle United Football Club on the Demoman class, included _middle on the heavy class Lilypad, who is the American engineer Spamfest joining in on the engineer class, as I was saying. Sniper Copy, big prodigy. We'll see how good he fares up in the polls that are still up. He can still vote, and he's up there. I think Prem Debut as well voted for it. I mean, you can vote for it, and he was put up there. And then Spy, we have Edgy or Atre or something else, something Belgian on the Spy class. So yeah, who is actually on the offense? It is Feila, so we have to see if they go crits maybe and try to surprise. But yeah, the gates do open up in 30 seconds, and we'll see what teams can make do.
I gotta admit though, looking at the Feila side, I think the likes of Vclocks and the likes of Utka, it's kind of favouring a lot more on the aggressive side of how Joe likes to play, so I'll be very interested to see how Utka plays with Joe in these sort of Ubers, and you know, timing it with Vclocks, maybe jetpacking in if he is running it, which he is actually for this offense, so maybe looking for these satways, but you can take this as the gates open up.
Yeah, by the way, Feila and Layla essentially switched to crits, so she has 50% crits right now. Try to confuse Spies, but I don't think Mezzo get confused by this, because you can literally just check 2 seconds before the gates are down. But there comes a big kind of try on initiating, but Roboprod has everyone just looking his way. He's not dying, but he's completely getting shut out of the server, and there's not a lot of stuff happening because they're just waiting for the crits, and here it comes top right now. Yeah,
I think in close position now, Joe. We get some damage in, but Geddy's going to have to use to save his heavy and save the rest of his players. The gun gets sapped by Ajay, and it actually goes down to some spam from Joe as well, so nice push to get the gun there. Colby goes down there in the meantime. Poker's going very aggressive here, but they need to be careful. But overall, going to be a slight ad possibly for Layla if she manages to stay alive here.
Yeah, they had really good positions there actually. Feila, they tried to brute force all their way again, once again just threw forward because they didn't die initially, but then Utka just ran in from tracks and meat shot the heavy down, which basically killed their forward pressure, and then Copy got headshot the second or third time in a row already by Kazarok, I think is that on for SDCK, as they are trying to get their flanks up again. But you see, they have now the slight crits advantage. They want to take this forward here, getting crits popped onto Joe. Gets Poker in the front tunnel. Actually, Kazarok is getting stabbed in the backlines as well. Clark kills Edgy, but a lot of stuff actually happens there with crits, you know. They still have this Uber, but they lost some players.
Oh, Mezzo gets to stab onto Layla low in the back, but I mean, they ultimately get the gun. Yubi gets forced out kind of by Gidu as, you know, players on the... Oh, okay, I'm hearing like a scream from Wiethoofd as he apparently got a stomp kill, so there we go. Vclock's doing Vclock's things, but he goes down for his troubles. They're still staying in here, surprisingly. I mean, Telly's up. I think they're maybe confident in holding this, but I mean, I'd probably leave if I was them. Okay, they decide to back out now.
They lost 5 players to the crits push, and then they Ubered, but literally almost had no players. Yeah, big pipe there, miraculous one actually from Joe, just killing Murphy on the second point, basically destroying their forward defense, but maybe they're once again just brave, and maybe Kazarok can carry his weight here as the Spy gets caught out there, Edgy on the side tunnel, but they still want to hold this. I am questioning this a little bit.
Yeah, they are very brave trying to hold this with just a Pyro Sniper. I mean, Carby's already looking for aggression here. His team's kind of slow. He's trying to take this 1v1, he's not really buffed just yet, he gets buffed now. Roboprod goes in for a big jump up to Poker, Poker winning that one out. We've got May trying to pressure on this side as well, Carby taking a headshot on the hill. But, I don't know, it's kind of just very back and forth right now, but ultimately it is going to be even Ubers. I think the crits comes out though, but they don't go, ooh, 2, 3 going down, 4 going down. Oh, it's suspense, never mind, but still a lot of kills.
Jesus Christ, I mean, they basically now repopped the Uber just to counter it and actually got Joe there in the backlines, and Roboprod is also getting weak. But the thing is, Degu actually took a pipe, was so weak, actually held on, they were so brave, and then the crits came in and got a 4k, and they are still actually fighting for it though. Vclock's trying to get forward, getting some flame damage, gets ultimately killed there by Murphy with the sticky.
Yeah, Jacqueline is doing his best to try and defend this with the help of his demo, but his demo does get sniped actually. Copy with the opening headshot. Mezzo going for Layla. Oh, they don't turn around. He gets 2k onto the sniper and the medic. May comes in for the cleanup onto the demo as well. So very nice hold hits, and in that whole time as well, Poker was alive in the side tunnel. So very well played by SDCK with his aggressive hold.
Yeah, I mean, really, the aggressive play stunt is insatiable, as they're just not backing up there, or backing out rather, as they are just... I don't know if they are too eagerly aggressive there, because I think Feila could have definitely punished this, but they just were, you know, put on the back foot there. But actually I think Layla died or something, so they actually, yeah, she got backstabbed early on, so she switched to the medigun. There's a 50% Uber advantage still on Degu, who's just hiding there and actually wanting some protection. As Clark there gets piped.
Yeah, he goes down to some spam coming over the hill from Joe, but I mean, we've still got a lot of SDCK players playing on this hillside, as Yahoo going down quite low actually. The flank playing around with a combo quite a lot as well, but I mean, pretty much every single player is on this hill right now. Going really far deep for this Layla pick. Middle's trying to, you know, keep them away from the medic for as long as possible, but I mean, Layla does manage to survive that, so hopefully they'll come in with some ads.
Yeah, now they have 60% out. They still have to walk into this entire red team though, which is almost entirely up. Yahoo though goes to Layla. I don't know if he just hit 100%, but she just hit her way into the respawn queue once again.
Yeah, I'm not sure why she positioned herself like that. She could see the sniper was there on the balcony. She only had a scout, and there wasn't really much spam coming in, and the Jackie Legs conch comes in as well. Meaning that, you know, it was unlikely Kaz was going to get picked very quickly there. Goes for that quick scope and gets that shot, so really nice shot from Kaz to deny that. And once again, it's going to be Gedu with this advantage. And yeah, I've got to say, Jackie Legs and Kaz and Murphy doing a good job denying this hill with the help of May.
Yeah, they're actually having their first crutch and actual clutch hold there, because they've just held it on for so long, and it's probably going to bite them in the back in the end. In the total amount, if they actually manage to break this down though, Poker, not so much at stake for him as he gets snapped down there by Coffee, but there's actually a big Jackie Legs flank. No, he wins, loses rather against Roboprod. Joe gets killed there, and there's a big separation of the medic. Degu does live, Vclox gets headshot, and Layla even dies to May from the counter and follow-up aggression.
Yeah, and Gedu positions himself so that he's away from that soldier flank as well. Robo not managing to find that. This is a decent level 2 as well from Clark. Got it quite passive next to this rock, and it's going to deny anything from just immediately jumping into his medic if he unwrangles it. Ajay not managing to find it either because all the teams around it as well. So once again, it's an ad situation. Gedu's like trying to avoid the spam here, but I mean, I don't know, a lot of aggression from Feila right now. Ooh, nice shot.
Roboprod, yeah, literally just got put back there by the sentry gun and then just got headshot. And then Kazarak also gets stabbed. Finally, some openings are basically, well, opening up, but they still have a slight Uber disadvantage down to the offense, but they're not stopping here. They're relentless, they're just walking forward. Gedu dies! Off you go there to the flames, and actually finally the aggression comes in. I wanted to say before, Feila need to start playing the Feila way, and they do.
Yeah, Viethoofd managing to find that pick. I mean, that was good awareness from him. There wasn't really many people to deny him from jumping in there. There's only like a demo and like some other class there with the medic, so finds that pick. But it's going to be an interesting hold here, because obviously this new house layout means that, you know, Poker's just going to sit on top of this sort of railing. Middle's aware of the spot though and has called him out there, so we'll have to see if they go tracks in and try and out-rotate them.
Yeah. Basically, they still have this Uber advantage, 80%, so May might have actually wanted to take this forward. They still have to cross into a sniper side, and the Poker goes down to Joe, sticking him out, so that's already a big meaty, well, class basically lacking there from the defense, and they're still trying to fight this here. SDCK are rather passive right now positioned, as Jackie Legs is just trying to spam this forward, but this card actually gets pushed decent amount, and there comes the Uber onto Pyro and onto Joe, but they're actually not getting all that much with it.
Yeah, they push it and they manage to get the gun eventually, but I mean, there's so much space made by Feila right now as they try and push in this car. I mean, there's 4 down right now for SDCK. They're not like coordinated when they're going in or out, so I think they're going to decide to just hold last here for now. I mean, Gedu does have the advantage. Vclox in the back though. Oh, gets the force. Vclox comes in from behind. I have absolutely no idea how I managed to get that much space in behind, just uncalled, but there we go. Going to try and make the most out of it, and Layla does actually go down from May, I think, so wow, really well played by May there.
The ironic thing really is, and there comes a big jump by the way from Jackie Legs, actually savaging this card, but right now it gets kept, and there goes so much damage in.
What pyro class?
Yeah, well, flames that got to burn.
I just always remember, ladies and gentlemen, even in Prem, sometimes just holding W amounts one in Pyro wins you games.
The ironic thing, what I wanted to mention before, by the way, Vclox ran in, you know, got a force, and he basically almost helped SDCK to salvage the situation, because they almost stabilized, even though they didn't even plan to do this on the 3rd point. But then they got flushed out, and right now I think it's 7 minutes and 30 seconds, which is basically the time you want to cap the last point, so SDCK are still looking strong here.
Yeah, Mezzo's still roaming around the battle lines, trying to look for this med pick potentially. He's on Dead Ringer, does get caught out though as Roboprod sort of bumps into him. But we've got Murphy sort of holding aggressive here on these sort of front stairs. Carpy maybe looking for a peek snipe onto him as he's trying to set up these traps. But massive advantage for Layla right now, so they can walk in with the Super and they might be able to find something.
And let's see what mischief they want to cook up with this one as they are pushing front stairs here with Joe. Actually, double flash once again onto the Pyro, onto the Demo. They get a lot of ground like the actual point before, but there goes Vclox going onto top left, actually getting Kazarok down with this new little side tunnel that just opened up. They got 4 frags there, the gun is still up, level 2 wrangled, and there comes actually big stuff from Mezzo, just throwing this card down onto Spamfest. He gets killed there, but Yahoo is actually controlling this tracks area. Roboprod is trying to go on the high ground. They get so many frags, only 2 up, 1 up, it's only Poke up, but nobody is pushing the card.
Wow, this has been a really good push from Feila. They take that advantage in, they chase down the medic, but never mind I say that, oh, Murphy's shooting the heavy instead of the car. Unlucky, but they had a lot of players, so they probably would have kept that anyway, to be fair. But I mean, 9 minutes for this new version. Can't really tell if that's any good at the moment, but I suppose it's not a bad time, sort of average.
I would generally say before, just looking at this last point in the pregame, that it probably helps the defense to actually stabilize, and you would say why I mean, the offense can just walk through there. But what we've seen, I mean, they had full advantage, you know, they walked in there, they actually got a sniper frag, but the issue with that is they got 5 or 6 frags, they were 3 down, 3 only up on the defense, but they didn't even focus the card on the offense. They actually allowed the spawns that were like 10 seconds to get up into positions once again. So maybe things are different when they actually don't have like 80% advantage on the offense. But in the end, you know, doesn't matter, it's that time, it's 9 minutes. I would still say these days it's probably a bit below average.
To be fair, I was quite surprised at how sort of discombobulated is the word for how SDCK were playing that third point after the sort of Uber push in, because they weren't really decisive as to whether they wanted to be in or out, and like I think Vclox kind of coming in behind, jetpacking over, they didn't expect it at all, and their comms just went mad. And yeah, after that it was just like a complete mess pretty much. But yeah, after they get the ad, and it's an easy push in for Feila.
Yeah, so it's basically we have a clutch hold into second, and then we have a Pyro jetpacking forward. So nice first offensive phase, but right now we actually have to see them going out here. Gedo is not onto Uber, so we have to see a first actual suicide wave where actually people just pushing the card forward and getting some ground in as they're trying to buff up their players. Sentry Gun only gets exchanged there, nothing really happening as there comes a big jump in though, but Murphy gets completely denied. Yahoo is in from the left, doesn't get anything, but he actually gets a replay with the Sentry Gun rockets onto Carpy through this new flank. So much damage.
Yeah, Jacqueline's making that new flank work. He gets some decent shots in with the direct hit, actually hitting a lot of his rockets there. Manages to get interesting reflection up from Yahoo to kill Carpy, but he manages to get the NG as well. So without the NG there, Gun is still weak. Vclox going to do his best to try and deny the spam, but it does go down eventually to Murphy spam. The trade's put in now though.
Yeah, so early force there. They just ate a pipe, and they're actually now going to drop Yahoo, Clark, and everyone. Jackilex gets killed as well. There's a big juggle from May, getting killed on the card as well. They're almost going to wipe their Poker still forward, but actually going to lose the heavy versus heavy showdown there against middle on the hill. And actually they fought them off quite nicely and have a 20% advantage there onto the defense. They still have their sniper lacking, but I think if Feila are not if SDCK are not insanely fast, then they might actually be able to recuperate.
Yeah, they're pressuring Ripperprod out now. Middle's still holding the stairway though. Joe's still got lights on it as well. May trying to pressure onto the cart, get some more cart time, and pressure out Joe. I mean, there's only a few people here for Feila right now. There's only like 4 or 5 people here with their Mez, and the whole of SDCK is making their way in here. Roboprod gets picked off. Carpy goes down to a stab from Mezzo as well in the back line, so this is going to be very hard for them to stay in here for very long. I mean, they should maybe move out since Kaz has got a free sight line.
Yeah, they're literally alone there now. Middle and Layla are literally alone in this fort. Probably kill
she's 98%!
Oh no! What's she going to do? Killbite, it's all over!
Oh, dearie me.
Good first safe spot heaven for the medic, or maybe not.
That was a throw if I've ever seen one. Jesus. Okay. That was just kind of unlucky. They should have left. Like, that's the problem with holding that far forward and like in that sort of little cove, is that like it's hard to like rotate out if they start getting pressure. So yeah, kind of unlucky there. But I mean, let's just get this quick second cap by the looks of it. So SDCK making a lot of decent pressure.
Yeah, they might feel some dismay there, but actually Jackilex, just to make up for it, some lightning rounds once again. Vclox, I mean, doesn't matter, but looks good on the on the cameo there, or maybe on the post-season frag show. Right now, though, they're actually trying to take some ground here. They still have the 60% advantage. Actually, Joe actually goes down, so there's a great deal here because there's no actual defensive pressure. Roboprod dying as well. I don't know what they're doing, lingering so forward. They're actually giving so much space and picks to this incoming Uber, though, but they still fall down on the defense.
Oh god, there's so many players dying for Feila, like they're all kind of just feeding in one by one. They've got this gun past it from Spamfest. I mean, smart Spamfest to have it this far back, but Jackie Legs easily just comes in there with no heavy and no demo to deny him for those few seconds. Gets that sniper pick, and now Mezzo just walks up, stabs the gun. Team peeks it as well at the same time. Jackie Legs in behind, nothing they can do to stop this, and yeah, it's just an absolute travesty of a third hole at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically on the third point what happened on the second point almost, but this time Layla is only with Joe, like forward. I don't know, like they're kind of not on the same wavelength there, I feel like. But there comes a big step actually from Edgy, from middle, included middle, get the implied medic frag and actually going to salvage this. There are only 2 players up, but you see this tech actually works out. Utka is trying to force 3 players out of the point, or 4 players actually by himself. Doesn't work, but they are actually going to equalize the medic situation.
Like he said, included middle, and now included Ajay, and I thought it was a joke, and I just realised Ajay's got included in his name. God's sake! So they've swapped over the first names now. So there we go. He's passing the baton. But yeah, that was an interesting med pick onto Gedu there. But I mean, there we go. It's gonna be even Ubers, but they're gonna be sitting up in this top area, which is now a lot more accessible due to that doorway. We'll have to see how this pans out.
I mean, 4.5 or over 4.5 minutes actually just to defend this point. Equal Uber percentages and the card in a decent position. They should maybe have more emphasized, but Joe dies alone against
Pyro. Yeah, bit of a yikes pick there. Gonna be getting caught out by that, so now there's no demo to defend him up here. Murphy's gonna be trying to spam in. Mill's doing his best to try and defend this, but he's got a lot of players on the stairs waiting to peek him. He's gonna try and take the 1v1, or goes down for his trouble, poking down quite low there, but gonna be using his Uber off. But so I've got this gun to contest with, goes down pretty quickly. But oh, Geddy goes down to a nice snipe though, and I'm gonna use in on the scout.
Yeah, and they actually have so much card time to make up for it. They can even kill this level 2 sentry gun. There's so much people getting cleaned up there. Vclock's killing Kazarok as well. Roadprod though getting stepped in the backlands. Mezzo killing Kapi as well. He's actually cleaning them up from behind, and they actually didn't get all that much picks, you know, forward with it. They got the ground still, but they might have actually been able to push into this. But you see so many people crater. Utka there makes Murphy crater, and then another player dies as well. So I don't think they actually can salvage all that much. I mean, they got the car relatively far up.
Yeah, I mean, these are decent progress. Very weak players from Feila right now up top, but I mean, you know, they're well known for being quite weak a lot of the time, putting a lot of pressure to the enemy team, stopping them from coming up here. But I mean, they're actually in a slight ad here, surprisingly. Are they on? Yeah, they're still on miniguns, so still holding up here pretty well. Trying to build a sentry as Clark in this sort of main area, but it keeps getting denied. So at the moment, they're sitting relatively comfortable, I think.
Yeah, just a lot of people are dying to snipers, basically, as they walk into choke points. Right now, though, Poker tried to get sneaky there underneath the stairs, and how is Joe not aware of him? I mean, he's still there, okay, he actually backs out there. Mezzo once again actually getting steps there in the backlines, killing Roboprod, just getting so much space, and right now there comes some actual forward pressure here from the Pyro, and on the other side from May as well. They're just pressuring them so much. I mean, Murphy does go down, but you look at the card, they're actually doing some stuff, I like that, but the Uber still needs to be popped at some point.
Yeah, Ajay doing a good job there, actually gets some decent picks, helps out middle in that 1v1 as well, but apparently Layla goes down to Mezzo. I didn't even see that, but huge pick from Mezzo there. I think that was a drop as far as I know, and then we got Mezzo with the LOL'd in chat, so there we go.
We have to see though, they still have to cover ground into almost every player up. Oh, Copy there though, gets sniped, so there's actually big V-Clocks coming in, once again killing Murphy, killing Kazarok, and actually they get so much picks here. I mean, Ghetto actually gets forced, he's somewhere now, he's actually on top there with his combo. Yahoo is going to go and charge, spearhead this to the spawn. Poker is still securing this area. They're actually getting decent ground, decent frags, and Layla is down as well.
They used so early, I don't even know whether it was a force or whether they just didn't realise they were up there. They then charge forward through the new doorway, and then Layla just kind of walks in front of her team for some reason, and then just gets caught by the afterburn. So now they're only 1 up, and this should be a pretty easy cap for them. They've got 1 minute 50 left to cap this, and yeah, there we go, easy cap for them. So very messy push, but I mean, SDCK sort of coming out with that. I mean, Mezzo definitely changing the game with that pick there.
Yeah, and also to be quite fair, I think when Feila, you know, they kind of threw the second and a third offense there, defense rather, sorry, a bit. So if you consider that, and they only had like well over 1.5 minutes there to push it, maybe it looks different. As we actually don't go onto logs for each round, but just actually going to take a look at combined logs, I think is a better predisposition. But yeah, Buck, basically, I don't know, like they kind of got forced in some weird positions there, the offense, but they actually made the Uber work because I feel like people maybe had not the concrete awareness where people were actually pushing in, even though they had worse Uber, on paper, but they just walked into it.
Yeah, the upper hold, like, a lot of times on that last point is just it is messy, like, there's no other way of going around it. I mean, especially when you're against the better teams, the better teams will coordinate, they'll get their soldier jumping up from drop downs, they'll get their spy sort of decloaking in the right places and sapping the gun, and you got the sniper peeking from, like, any sort of angle. So it's mainly just, like, on your sort of pyro and, well, just your combo players, really, to try and deny it as best as they can. I mean, a lot of players... some teams like sort of have their soldiers sort of roam up there a bit. I didn't see Robo up there too much. I think he might have got caught out a few times. But yeah, like once you get the demo picks up top, it's pretty hard for them to hold up there easily without getting forced. And we saw that in that game just. So I have to see if they can adapt to these holds or whether they want to hold somewhere else or however they change it up. But we're going to be on to this next round.
Yeah, I'm actually playing resilient and actually keeping resilient, even though Wiethoofd is reprimanding me in the backlines, but we're not going to do numbers each round. Right now, though, we can mention numbers. Okay, there are numbers. You can look them up yourself. And right now, though, Clark actually gets killed there by the suicide wave. JackieDex is actually getting some great pressure there with directing Roboprot out of the picture. LG goes down there as well. They actually get only 2 minor picks, I would say, there with the first suicide wave. Yahoo is actually going in, reflecting Joe out of the picture, but he still does live, and Murphy goes down. So I feel like some tippy-toeing around each other and actually not so many picks coming out.
Oh yeah, he tries to get some space there, but they're doing a nice job of denying him. We've got Spamfest Lily on this Wrangler as well, trying to deny people from coming in. So a lot of knockback on that level 3 sentry when it's wrangled. And decent hold right now, quite aggressive coming out from Feila. A lot of spam coming in though. Murphy with some decent pipes takes out Joe. Middle going down very weak, and this is the one kind of risk of holding this far forward. But never mind, Ajay with the mid pick. I'm pretty sure that was a drop.
Yeah.
Oh, these spies, they're going huge in this game. What is going on?
That was really the saving grace. Yahoo though, he goes into the little safe spot and actually kills Roboprot, who was completely abandoned by his combo. He's actually still behind. Yahoo is coming out here. He's actually on the side flank. The middle goes down. There's so much flame damage. He's still up. How is he still up? No, that was actually another pyro. So much flame damage. What the hell happened there in actual hell that was with all this flame damage combined? Edgy trying to get something there onto Dago.
I love that. You got, I think Joe just jumped, or Murphy just jumped Joe, and then they're just like spamming pipes and they both kill each other with the last pipe in their mag. So now both teams don't have a demo for this hill push. Poke is really aggressive though, but yeah, that Pyro play before, like, I don't know, I mean, shooting Pyro is hard, question mark, like, I don't know what is going on, to be honest, but there we go.
I think SDCK will be quite happy though with this situation, all things considered. Right now though, they actually see once again brute forcing all their way into the second point, because no team actually has Ubers up and they killed Joe there in a crucial area, what you mentioned before. Murphy actually taking the trade and just allowing them so much space. Edgy's trying to do something in behind, gets directed. Once again, Jackie on a 5k with that directed. And on the first point, what you mentioned, they got the drop there and they actually used some conch play or something. It was really miraculous play there by Edgy, but in the end, they just had so much pressure still onto it and just brute forced them out. And once again, the Uber's up. Here comes the synchronized jump with a banner. Once again, so much damage onto middle. They're actually going to secure them safely out, but see this Uber into third.
God, this is a very confusing play. They just sort of solo Uber in a Pyro. Now Gedu's trying to run for his life. Yeah, V-Clock's doing a good job of noticing that, managed to pick that off. Don't know why Gedu kind of extended that far forwards in front of his team with just his Pyro, but let's see if this pays off. I mean, Layla just doesn't use, importantly here. Their combo's still up top here. They've not, like, respected them being on the high ground, like, weirdly. So, their heals are still here, and Spamfest, through all that, even through the Uber, managed to keep the gun up because no one else was shooting it apart from, like, a Pyro attempt. So, yeah, bit of an interesting play from SDCK. Don't know whether they tried to abuse the new map, but there we go. Copy gets the Kaza frag, and now they're sitting comfortably on third.
Yeah, and Dago gets stabbed there, just making this Uber advantage once again bigger, as basically AG has been on back of him all day long, or on top of him rather, on these rounds. May also gets stick down, so there's actually no pressure forward on this card. It's still on the first slope and not actually being pushed up yet. Roboprot though does go down. Joe was actually happy and lucky to survive there earlier on because he was only on 1 HP or something when Mezzo shot him, but they lost middle. But once again, you see, they just recuperated on this point, and finally the offense is actually taking some emphasis onto the card, actually get some progress forward. They still have 50% disadvantage, but they get so many picks, they have vital picks onto the defense.
Yeah, they have had, but losing Joe and Wiethoofd is not going to be very good for them. Uber comes out onto the scout, Uka can do a lot of damage here maybe, so try and do the best that he can. Gets a heavy pick, might get a demo pick here with the help of Spy, he does. So that's going to be enough to delay their push right now, but Geddy doesn't go down in that, so we'll keep his ad for now, and they'll maybe try and repush with it soon.
Yeah, this hill is rather, I mean, dappled with player bodies, but in the end it's probably going to work out for the offense because you want to take as many trades as possible so you can actually have advantages or engineer themselves advantages, but they get forced really early. And there comes Murphy's jump forward, actually trying to savage something. They get middle down there with the flames from Yahoo, but Yahoo just says, you go off my map right now.
No, Wiethoofd, always the Wiethoofd plays, so yeah, gonna be airblasting Geddy right off the cliff. I don't really know what the kind of intent is with these Ubers a lot of time from SDCK. I mean, they're kind of just going in, they know there's a pyro around the corner, they don't have the focus. They're not really getting the scout involved actually. I've noticed May's kind of not really spearheading that unless I was just blind and I forgot he was there, but I don't know. There's just kind of a bit of a mismanagement going on with these Ubers. They've got a huge ad here as well.
And on the other side, by the way, I just wanted to point this out, Utgar actually has an 8k, 9k right now and actually just doing so much work. By the way, I did see that, I did not miss that. Mezzo just missed 4 steps there completely in front of the sentry gun onto the medic or something. So
Feels
just
bad,
going
man.
to point that out. In essence though, they're actually keeping up the pressure. Yeah, I like that Murphy though gets killed, May as well. They only get edgy as a counter retaliation frag there onto the defense and not going to get all that much ground with it. They're still waiting for their Uber, but they kind of maybe need to, get some openings there. Joe goes down.
Yeah, Copy trying to look for the sniper frag, but I mean, no demo is going to be pretty hurtful for them. Murphy's trying to come in, spam this demo and the sentry, but I thought I heard a med frag there, but never mind. Wiethoofd comes in, going to get the force onto Geddy. They're trying to push this car as much as possible. Yahoo manages to get that with the help of his scout, but actually still in behind. Might try and look for this pick, but I mean, they eventually cut that out. Surprisingly on even Ubers, so I don't know, maybe they keep even Uber fights better than they take ads.
And still a respectable time, all things considered. I think they would probably be quite happy with the time as Feila walks in the sniper side lane, or just big shot from Kezara coming in, killing Joe, killing Copy on a 6k. What the hell? Get this kid banned off the server.
Oh, Ajay comes in though with that frag, but I don't know whether it'll be enough. I mean, they deny the sniper. Jackalegs is still up here though, doing a lot of work. I should deny the spawns for a bit, but they've used this new doorway. They're going to be locking off the top spawns right now. They're relying on May on this cart. Uka's going to take this 1v1 on the cart. This is the important fight. Forget the spawn fight right now. He gets off the cart, there we go. So the flank from Feila, doing a really good job here of denying this cart. Doesn't matter whether the team's in the spawn or not. The cart is the thing that matters here, and they've managed to deny that, and eventually the spawns win out, so I don't know. I don't know whether it was worth going all the way to spawn with that sort of combo, and whether they should have just get on cart, but
yeah,
we'll see if it plays out.
Wonderful. I feel like we have a deja vu, you know? I mean, you can push the balcony, but you basically abandon card, and then you have a good flank who's alive, and basically deny any card progress. They get Joe there at a 10-second respawn, so that might actually be opening up some doors for them, but Layla still has 50% advantage there onto the defense and is quite well protected here. The card actually going to roll back, but yeah, definitely have to take Roboprot and Utgar on some praise. They're actually praising them. Jackie trying to, well, basically jump in, but into a minigun, never going to work out.
Yeah, such from Lily or Smurf still up and about, denying that jump in. Got 100% on Layla right now, sending in tiles. Yahoo walks into the demo again. Joe going down. Well, actually, that's the reverse of actually what happened, because usually it's Wiethoofd walking at Murphy, but that time it was Yahoo walking at Joe. So managing to take that top spot. Middle, managing to get that Murphy pick though. There's a really weird segregation right now from the combo on SDCK, but middle goes down, so I mean there's a lot going down on this defense, but they still have this Uber.
And Layla actually snuck out, yeah, she actually went from safe spots to safe spot, but there's Jackie, yeah, onto the balcony, so weak, actually forces the players out, but Utgar actually goes on the card, was so close there, and he's going to chase Anna, going to kill Murphy, no, Murphy says no, gets a pipe into the scout, and right now there's just so much pressure onto this card. Wiethoofd's trying to savage something, they actually do get the frags there onto Poker, onto Clark, so much defensive work, but the card and the actual spawns, they're actually going to favor the offense as they're trying to get their grip onto the game, get so many positions, get the card forward, and actually going to cap it in 8 minutes and 20 seconds.
Wiethoofd was unlucky there. He was trying to go for the pure behind air blast rather than just the side air blast, but took just a bit too long, even with the power jack. But gonna be an 8-minute 20 time for them, so pretty much similar-ish to the last round. But yeah, that kind of upper fight has definitely changed now that new doorway's there. Like, I feel like if the incentive for that doorway for the offensive combo to push in wasn't there, maybe they would have capped it the first time. Because, like, you know, we saw that flank fight on the cart, and you know, Robo and Utka got the best of that, so they managed to delay it for quite a while, and the rest of the team wasn't in for SDCK. So, bit of a mismanagement again, maybe a bit of an overcommittal to the high ground. But either way, you're gonna be getting a similar time here, so we'll have to see what happens.
As a counter-argument to that, I would say though that I think what teams really experience as the real burden of upward fourth is actually getting into the high ground, you know, when the combo is just holding the high ground. So this new changes with this little doorway actually only get into play when you're already pushed into the high ground, which is usually, you know, when you are going to basically you're on the brink of winning anyway. So I don't know, maybe they could have switched some other routes away, but I definitely do agree that it's making the upper fight more interesting there in general. So I mean, that's a faster time than we've seen before, so we actually have to see how Feila fare up against this, as they're running Uber now and no crits shenanigans.
Okay, so this is going to be different, and I'm expecting the stacks to come in. Ajay's already trying to get in behind here. They've got a Robo, I think, was going for a bit of a direct tip play, might have switched off now. But again, this kind of aggressive hold, SDCK going to be mirroring sort of similar to what Feila did. Gedu taking some spam, Pyro comes in, Joe trying to spam out Gedu, Gedu wisely not peeking that too much. As 3 go down, Copy goes down, so Kaz has got some sight line for now.
Yeah, they are going to be cradled in some safety because they fought them off quite well. They didn't actually lose a single player. There comes a big snipe though, and getting Spamfest down, they're actually going to deny some card progress, just once again pointing objectives out. Maybe a bit boring, but in the actual essence of the game, it does win you the game itself. So actually some pressure there for, no, actually some space, sorry, for Carpi there onto top left. It's getting spy checked by Wiethoofd. There comes the Uber fight right now though, on the front, exchanging.
Yeah, probably the wisest decision actually. I mean, this is decent now. They solo the Uber onto Poker here. Could be denying this high ground for them on this really long lasting Uber. So I'm going to be resetting that. But I mean, you still got this gun from Clark. Ajay might be trying to look for a sack in here to get the sap. Gets denied by the Pyro though, nice job from Yahoo there. Gedu taking some spam for his triples as well in the meantime, but I mean, ultimately still quite slow progress on this offense.
Yeah, it was a on-par Uber there. It was a solo heavy Uber against solo Pyro, solo demo Uber, and basically Poker just sitting there and basically, well, denying them any ground for free or any ground in general. Middle also dies there, Joe dies. It's equal Ubers, but they're once again just keeping them at bay. There comes a Conjurer there, but Jackie Legs jumping forward, actually getting onto Layla. Layla is so scared, gets into spawn, actually going to press the respawn key, so she spawns further back, she keeps her Uber percentage and actually going to creep up on the full advantage rather soon. They're walking forward here, they don't even have Uber and Mesos creeping in the backlines, and there's so much pressure. Joe was really weak. Poker though gets killed as he gets aggressive.
Some of the flank though, Rubber Pro going down as May wins out of that fight. This gun from Clark still up though, getting spam. Ajay goes for it again in front of the sap, but might be discoordinated. Kind of forcing Gedu there. So, but the Uber comes out from Layla as well, but it's very disconnected. Wiethoofd's on very low health, Joe on kind of low health as well. Players just living on the side of the defense. Like Jackie kind of maybe fed that first time, but he's back in this fight right now, trying to help deny this cart progress. And yeah, they just don't really seem to be able to answer what SDCK is doing right now.
Because SDCK is not giving them any tranquil or actual silent point to rethink their strategy. They're just literally on this crest, on this hill constantly. And Poker actually goes down, but this is the only pick they've gotten like in the past 1.5 minutes. Joe there gets headshot once again. Kazarok is on a 5k. He's just getting so much ground because nobody's actually going to him, actually getting a position onto him. And Jackie is getting pressured here by the flank on the right side, actually going to succumb. No, he actually still lives. And Kazarok gets killed there by AG in the backlines. There's so much actual player exchange rates coming in. Yeah, Roprod is jumping in. Wow, this reflect.
Big
just completely saving it. Big Pyro.
Yeah, doing what he needs to protect his med there. So they're going to be sitting on this dispenser. They've lost their telly though, so no teleporters, sort of spawners coming in very quickly. They'll be interested to see if they stay in here. Their sniper isn't with them either to deny Carby from trying to peek in. They're all kind of hiding behind this wall. They're waiting for this Uber. They managed to get the Uber out. They managed to save players. Yahoo gets flashed. Murphy in the back line getting pressured, so is Jackie Legs, but Yahoo just taking the majority of this Uber. But I mean, you got Middle and Lily sort of on this high ground trying to get them to leave the point, so I think they're going to leave now.
Yeah, they were into two different minds. The SDCK, they Ubered Yahoo in forward, and then they actually also had some flashes down to middle, but they were completely separated, weak players as well. And then, yeah, well, when Mezzo gets double step, yeah, that's nice to look at, you know, but it's probably just going to be a second point for the blue team as well. As they're just taking the hill right now, it's equal Ubers. Poker's trying to defend it by himself, but I mean, come on, call out. What was once again the striker on Highlander? What did Mezzo do?
I don't know, Mezzo doing Mezzo things, but I mean, all I saw was Joe trying to bomb in and almost get some frags, but he lives on 1 health and comes back in with his push. Managed to pick up Poker and Jackie from this side tunnel, but laying it down again, I didn't even see that. Like, there's all these backline picks, it's crazy. Yeah,
they're just surrounding them constantly. They're actually going to retake the hill, which is probably a morale breaker. Wiethoofd is trying to do something here from catwalk from the left flank. Spamfest is getting a lot of damage into May, but he's actually going to get caught out there as well. Edgy's in. No, you see this little, like there was a little split in their sync up there. That was actually a semi-suicide wave, but they tumbled in like 1 or 1.5 second apart from each other, so it didn't work. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's 3 minutes and 20 seconds. They really have to push the button right now, and this is not the button. Yeah, this is not the button they want to get pushed in.
Legged snipes by Kaza sitting on this hill. Oh god, he gets the coffee as well. Kaza definitely turning up recently with some decent picks here as May trying to take this 1v1 with Utka on the side. Who's going to win it out? Ooh, May just about wins that out. Ajay getting spied out again. Yahoo's been doing a great job for his team, defending his medic and his sentry and that sort of thing in the car. So big ups to him right now as Kaza getting even more headshots out on this hill.
And Layla dies again. The problem is really they are on crits, but they actually need to build the crits, you know.
Oh my god.
And also Yahoo gets a counter reflect there onto Wiethoofd. Just sit down. I am the superior pyro in the game right now. Yeah, the issue is they're still on crits, but they actually need to do something, and the teleporter is still up, so shenanigans. Oh no, they're in the little hiding spot, and they're actually going to flank them from behind with this Uber once again. There's a big jump in from Murphy, actually doesn't get anything. Sit down, kid. I mean, nice try, but you know, they basically gave the second point away because they're so comfortable that they already won this.
Yeah, they got the 2 minutes to kill, I mean, unless they've got ×3 constantly. Oh! Layla goes down again to a point-blank headshot from Kaza, what on earth? Oh my god, the BM does not end. Geddu's just like on the cart with May. Oh, it gets piped though. Oh my god, this is just utter BM. Like, oh, it's madness. What is going on, Domaytoe?
Max exclamation mark wants to know your number. It's there on Layla non-stop. What? It drops down. Kills her. This is not a very happy game.
No, what's happening? They just need to play around Layla. She needs to wait for people or something, I don't know. Kaz is like, yo, he gets a nice snipe onto the soldier there, so having the game of his life right now is Mezzo gets Layla again!
No, ignore the kill feed, ignore the kill feed!
Please! No! I can't handle this! What is happening?
As a retaliation frag though, well, Edgy gets a double step there onto Digo as well, but in general, medics are just dying constantly. They actually need a committed sentinel who protects them. Like, we just ignore the kill feed for the next 1 minute and 10 seconds, which is, by the way, funny fact for you, still doable as they're just on the brink of pushing and actually capping the third point, yeah. And they are both on crits right now, both teams are on crits.
Come on, if Layla doesn't die for the next 30 seconds, you can maybe get an Uber and then maybe win this. Got a minute left. They can do this. Don't believe.
I mean, 30 to 40% advantage here onto the crits.
Don't get snipes. Don't get snipes.
There's a sniper.
Ooh, Coffee gets the sniper though. Big shot from him. Manages to get Kaza. They're still holding this high ground though. They actually have this ad, like Layla's been building a bit. And they'll move a bit. They're on. Oh, they're on crits. Oh yeah, they're on crits. Yeah. So they're gonna try and take this crit in. I was wondering how fast it was building, but I mean, Wiethoofd has made his way in. Finds Murphy. Finds Yahoo, but he's gonna be fighting overheal plays. Crits, laser beams. Oh, gets the heavy. He gets the pyro, sorry. Oh, almost gets the demo. Gonna be clearing this top area. Poker's hiding though on these stairs. Has anyone seen him? He's not peeking yet. There's 20 seconds. I don't know whether this is doable. Look, actually, I say that.
It is totally doable.
He's just gonna throw. Oh my god.
Layla is going to fall still just for the morale. And there's Mezzo trying to do something. No, actually, Utka needs to win this 1v1 and they're actually going to push the card. It's only It's only Wiethoofd. He's so close. Joe is still up. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 1. No!
That was okay. They're on the brink of being just so cocky then, and just being so what's the word, complacent, that they almost threw that. Like, okay, that was very risky, but you know, fair play to SDCK. That was well played by them in the end. I mean, I don't know what happened, like what was going wrong there on the first and the second pushes for Feila then, but I don't know. I mean, what did you see, Domaytoe?
I mean, wait, before we actually, point fingers and actually analyze, I have been caught off there a bit by the fact that 6 players from the defense pushed behind from them, from the first point onto them, then all died, and then basically medics, I think 10 or 12 medic deaths in the last 2 minutes or something, so this was a bit harsh for me, to actually point fingers and then keep focus on what actually is important there in the back. I mean, when things like that spiral down, there's not so much to analyze, I feel, in the last 2 points or something, but what you just mentioned in the first, at least in the first point, what we've seen, where they struggled the most, it was basically them not getting, any actual forward pressure, because they are a very offensive team, and then they are the defense is holding very aggressive on their hill, on their crest, we don't have any actual space to walk in. Kaza's on a 5k or something, just getting so much space. We don't get any free picks. And an offensive team plays around the fact that they get a lot of damage for free or something, and actually get players in, but if just individuals perform on the defense and don't die, which is the most important part, and actually get picks, then it's just going to put you onto the back. And I think they just got 3 or 4 minutes or something there for the defense, so that just made it bad for worse for them. But yeah, in the end, actually clutch stuff there. But did you see any maybe individual players just stepping up, as we're probably going to have a quicker look onto combined numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing for Feila in those last sort of moments of that game, sort of going into the second, was I feel like they're aggressive, but sometimes they miss time when they're all peaking at the same time, because they can do really well when they all peak at the same time. But I think they kind of just, I don't know, maybe there's some miscommunication, or maybe there was distractions, because I mean, they got distracted by a few sort of backline players like May and Mezzo and Jackie Legs when he was jumping in with Conch and stuff. So I think those distractions mean that they miss time when they're trying to peek in for the sentry and for the medic. But when they did get the damage down, they did work with it. So they just needed to kind of capitalize off that. And they had some decent third pushes previously. And yeah, after that, after Layla started going down repeatedly, and they kind of just neglected that. It just didn't really go well from there. I think maybe they possibly gave up a bit too early, because I mean, you saw how fast the car was moving, so maybe they could have brought it back, but who knows? But yeah, I guess we can maybe look at logs, question mark.
We don't have combined ones though, as Beep is not okay. He's into commission perfectly to actually have people combining numbers. But yeah, what you just mentioned, I mean, when you have players behind, sometimes you can put off, but my general advice would just be push in. You have 2 picks because players are behind, and if you just push forward, then you're actually faster than the people that are behind you actually trying to catch up. But in general, though, as we're going to have a quick look at the logs, I only look on medic stats first of all, and they're kind of on par there. Both have 1 drop, and Digo has slightly more heals, but actually, first 4 players, just kill-wise, are SDCK players.
Yeah, Kaza just having a huge game there, and also Jackie Legs on the flank and May on the flank as well. Pretty much just sums up that game. Carby getting denied quite a lot as well, just because the flank was doing so well. May and Jackie Legs have experience sort of denying snipers over and over. And Mezzo as well, just denying sniper a lot, as Kaza was winning a lot of those 1v1s. So all that combined, 57 headshots for Kaza means that he didn't really have that much space to work with. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it kind of just came down to some Uber pushes. I mean, Gedu having 18 Ubers, so, that's already 7 more Ubers than Layla did, even with the 4 critses. So, I think ultimately that kind of just won them some of these pushes.
I'm not going to question this math, but maybe Twitch chat will point out. Anyway, overall kills, though, I think 30 more onto SDCK. What is more important sometimes than kills is KDs, and when I'm looking at the KDs, it's a bit rough there, I think, for Feila, actually. I mean, they have... what is that? Now I have to do the math, so I can't fair. On the first 7 players, actually 5 are SDCK players, and quite vital ones as well. I mean, Murphy still has a positive KD, which is quite important there onto demo, even though Joe has 511 damage per minute, almost over 60 more damage per minute in a 37 minute long game. Then Yahoo, I think, was doing a lot as well, has high KD, high KAD. But what we mentioned before, these KDs being low on an offensive team, what we also mentioned is usually a sign that doesn't actually mean all that much, because you die a lot, but you get a lot of space, it doesn't really matter. But what we've seen from the game is they die a lot unsynced and actually don't get any forward progress, which is, I think, the real crucial part there to Feila, where they didn't roll this more instantaneously. Even though, all things considered, the second round was close, but we'll have to see how this maybe transitions to Badwater Bro, and then maybe Broduct if we get to that. Yeah, but another just modified map there as the second map, and what did change here? I have no idea.
I think as far as I know, it's going to be the roof spawn. So basically, there's like a spawn now actually that leads up to roof, because typically you have to go through that shutter all the way from the main spawn on defense. But they've actually blocked that off now. There's no longer a shutter that can open. There's just a wall there. You got this sort of shutter now on the right side of roof in the stairway, so you can sort of quickly get up to roof. So roof holds are now viable potentially. So it'll be interesting to see how the teams play around this new spawn. And then importantly as well, there's a new, well, I guess new/old forward spawn for the offense when they cap second in this sort of bunker area. We see a lot of pub NGs put their sentries, so that's a thing as well. I think on third, actually they've removed the balcony that connects the right stairs to the left side for boiler. So there's a bit of a...
What the hell is that? Sorry, but what is that? Yes, what is that?
Oh god, interesting. That's what that is.
Yeah, I think this is good map. I don't know. Yeah.
So it all will be revealed in time, Domaytoe. All will be revealed.
I can't wait for the fact that you're staying onto Badwater third, you know, and then you hear the call front stairs coming in, and I would just what? What do you want to tell me? You know, I don't know if this is going to work out. You can literally just have a pyro sitting on top there and literally blasting everyone off.
Pretty much. That's why it's kind of a bit awkward, because you could just sit like a sentry there or a pyro there. I haven't figured out there's like a point where you could just put the sentry down and like it can't get shot through the weird second sight line, and you can just sort of shoot things in boiler or whatever. So we'll have to see if any of the NGs abuse that.
In general, I don't want to bash maps, but you look at the front stairs, you know, and now I look at the back stairs, the size of back stairs. See, it can be blocked by a single dispenser. I really want to know, like, any arguments, you know, why these versions differ so much. Like, I really want to know the thought process behind this, why you include the front stairs, and then you have a back stairs area, but just as small once again, so nobody can actually push through if there's a dispenser. But I don't know. We'll have to see if this works out as we're actually going live. Both teams have readied up, and it is once again Feila. I don't know, could they pick, because they are in the offense once again, just first.
Yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on like who's possibly going to take this? I mean, I think the reason why, like, because we didn't really speak like about bans that much, but I mean, you have to notice that SDCK banned Coal Plant in the grand finals for Wiethoofd and for this as well, so they definitely fear Feila's Coal Plant, which is fair enough because I know they're very strong on that map and they like that map a lot. But then you got these two payload maps sort of in a row before you get to the Cough, so SDCK very, you know, comfortable with these payload maps. I think, you know, the sort of passive holes most of the time, and then, you know, being comfortable moving forward as a team. So yeah, I mean, it's not surprising that they picked like this map out of the pool, I suppose.
Yeah, but they fear Coal Plant because I can break this down for you. Feila are very strong at standing on the right side, you know, on the right side, just on Coal Plant. They literally just stand on the right side, lock that off, have a sniper that kills everything basically, and then they get it locked off. So maybe it actually would work for Feila if they were on the offense, because from the defensive point, seeing this, you know, you also hold the top right point. But in general, what you just said, I don't know if it actually fancies them or actually helps them so much as SDCK payload maps there. I'm not 100% sure, because I would say that Feila are probably favored by this, but here comes Suicide Wave actually getting denied completely. Rollpro dying as well. They got some frags. Edgy is not actually achieving anything. This jump, I saw this. Bit bad maybe, but yeah, the first Suicide Wave actually not getting any progress, but crits once again onto Layla.
Yeah, I mean, they got the dispenser armor coming out as well to save the medic. No surprise there, but yeah, I mean, this crit's interesting. Jacqueline's in for a bit of a bomb. Almost actually forces the crits.
It's a crits force. Oh no, she dies
down anyway. Oh god, it's an absolute travesty of a push. They get the Uber out, I guess, in return, but either way, I mean, Layla's dead, so I mean, Gedu probably going to be even with the crits if they go crits again. And even if they do that, they keep, you know, they're going to be critting into a level 3 sentry here, so I don't know how wise this is.
They really don't make it easy for her. I mean, she gets jumped, then double rocket, actually survives it, but then just fear pops the crit streak and then there's a random roller, and they didn't even get any ground with that, you know? You're literally critzing into a rock or something if you don't actually get across the corner, but they actually got the force out, which is usually one with this, and they're actually taking the left flank here right now. But Spamfest actually gets snapped down, they don't get any frags down to the defense, they're actually getting to get fragged down vice versa.
Nice job of Murphy actually having any sticks on this rock as well, but they're running crits again, and they're not going to realize that they don't have add. It's going to be even, because like Layla died, and Getty still lives, so, you know, Poker trying to get aggressive with May here a bit, but I mean, they're going to be rotating tunnel, maybe cut some people out, but some people have surely seen this, yeah, they've been called.
They crits on a ranked level 3 sentry gun. Now the Pyro comes in.
Oh god, this isn't Frem tier gameplay at all. Like, I don't know, what is this call? Like, they're against level 3, you're critzing into like, you know, people have called you, even if you can't see what's called you. Mezzo's probably called you. I don't know, it's I don't know, maybe it's a bit of impatience coming out, or I'm not sure.
It's a rather rough predicament, but you have to deal with this as Premiership level gamers. You have to buckle up. They are right now switching onto the Medigun. Let's see. Only have 20% disadvantage. Only get Mezzo down though. Kazarak gets his reign supreme there. Gets middle. Gets Kabi. I feel like Kabi is not having the biggest of impacts right now. Definitely not what we've seen from the recent season. Kazarak definitely having the upper hand here this time around. No joke intended as he's on the normal sniper rifle, but Woodguy is actually going to get fragged then, you know, just going to slow them down to a crawl. Edgy is actually trying to get some card pressure forward, but they don't get any ground here, Feila, really.
Oh, Mezzo with a nice pick onto the heavy as well, and yeah, no, you're right, like, you know, they're not managing to get any ground here. Pretty solid defense coming out right now. Clark doing a good job of keeping this sentry alive, actually trying to get some cart time and not make it roll back, so very smart from him. Joe getting very aggressive. I mean, Poker kind of extending there, doesn't manage to go down. They pick off May as well. Jackie still following this left side though, trying to build up his conch as much as he can, but they're doing a good job of denying this cart for now as they want to stay on it.
Yeah, copy goes down once again. So they're having the right idea. They want to take the normal meta game. They want to push just left side because you have a huge sideline, or actually a huge space just to walk in, but the problem is the sniper is never down. Right now they're actually going to take the exchange, but Tego has a better Uber. They're actually only flashing Yahoo, as there's a lot of flashing going onto the offense, and they're actually going to just force them and actually going to chase them rather out there, but they're actually getting finally some frags as they didn't get too aggressive. You see this? They just congregated, they just went passive, they didn't get overzealous there, Feila. They just regrouped passively and just what SDCK overcommit.
But they're going to be living now with Geddy, which is important. I mean, Mezzo tried to go for a bit of a Layla pick there, but he was alone in doing it against like 4 people, so doesn't manage to find it. Going to be doing this roof hold though now. Actually, you know, trying to make this viable since the spawns are right next to this area, so it's quite easy for them to hold here. Jacqueline is trying to hold the tracks right now. This gun isn't built though for Clark. Big bomb comes from RoboProd around the back, but isn't going to find anything for now. But Geddy actually dies there to Joe. Spam, I guess? Like, wow, okay, interesting positioning.
Yeah, I mean, there's your roof hold, your new invented roof hold. I mean, Joe dies there to body shot. Kazarak is still popping heads like there's no tomorrow, and he's still on roof there. Maybe this one-man army is actually going to savage the sword, and it looks like it as well because so many picks just from the pick classes, and Clark is going to reset his setup there onto the top. But finally, Kazarak and Clark both going to fall to included edgy implied backstabs as well, and it's going to be uncept. But oh well.
Poor Highlander. Strikes again. But yeah, and decent picks there coming out from the assassin classes of Feila. You got Ajay coming in with the 2K, and then Carpe importantly picking off the demo as well, with a peek from tracks by the looks of it. So, and it's looking good as well because Layla's 100%. So maybe they'll try and make their way around the back stairs. Maybe think about going front. It's probably easier to go back stairs in all fairness, but you know, block off the spawns and also deal with the gun at the same time. But either way, you're going to be trying to fight into a pyro on high ground, so it can be quite hard to get some free space here. So if they go with their flank, they might be able to make some space, I don't know.
And they are also, well, I think it's for them a conundrum how they're actually going to push points right now, because they've been struggling, I feel like, on every single point where SDCK actually had a proper defense and didn't throw like per se, you know. Like, they're almost at 5 minutes there and haven't even kept the second point, and the issue really is that the SDCK players are just popping off. They're just doing so much individually, and they're actually not going to fall there in the crucial areas where Feila actually need them to fall, because when they die they usually take 2 or 3 Feila players with them. So that's really the issue. They're trying to take tracks. I like this bravery, probably going to...
Jackie.
Yeah, kept this off. Jackie's in the air. Whoa!
Whoa, big shot from Coffee. Middle probably had that under control, but Coffee coming in with a bit of a denial headshot. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, but that bomb not really finding anything. But I think they're going to give this up for now. Going to be backing out through Boiler. No, sniping out from Coffee, maybe. Nope. But Wiethoofd goes in for a bit of a jump. Gets reflected.
Oh no.
Oh, Robo though.
Pyro actually, yeah, big jump actually. Clark still being down, my hut as well, but Roboprod is just onto top right, and there comes the Uber actually coming in, killing Murphy. Degu actually had a disadvantage. They're going to brute force them out of third. So I think maybe around 5 minutes or something, my hut is still broken, my heart is still broken as well, and Kazarak goes down there, but you know, they just get a fast third point, and it's maybe even a chance for them just to instantly push this into the last point.
Yeah, 100% now. Oh, Force comes out on Gedu though, 50%. I mean, sorry, 50 health left on him as he needs to use here. Wiethoofd's doing a good job of denying that after he decides to come away with that jetpack. Gonna be holding this ramp area. Layla dies though, as we've pointed out. Didn't even see that in the back, so gonna be a big ad for Gedu building again. But I don't think
on tracks. Oh no!
Oh,
Jesus Christ! Sorry, but like Joe jumped the roof, and then no, sorry, he was in the little sniper house there on top, and he actually put 4 stickies behind them, and they almost walked like backing out. Like 4 players walked into the stickies that he had behind them, but he got headshot there before. So that was almost a really big play. Right now though, actually, by the way, is where the pause comes in. And now it gets unpaused basically. So 5.5 minutes, not a lot of space for Feila to walk in, but they're slowly trying to lurk in, but still 60% disadvantage for them.
Actually comes in with this sap, but it's like slightly too early. Clark's easily able to wrangle that and deny most of the damage coming onto it, and all the focus is on the gun then. They do manage to get this sort of semi-force out on Gedu. Joe's still alive here, gonna get picked up by the Pyro by the looks of it. But yeah, importantly, the gun's still alive, quite aggressive at the bomb of this ramp as Layla's slowly coming up to Uber.
Layla was on 20 HP there, and she got chased by 3 players, actually going to survive that and going to back out to tires. I don't know if it's called for the defense, because they're actually sitting there and getting some frags. Kaza also going to fall there, because Copy just had a really nice snipe all the way from Finland, all the way from tracks, and yeah, Gedu dies as well. They have so many picks, they have full Uber advantage, but they're actually going to push it through the backstairs.
Oh, this is probably the wise decision actually. Oh yeah, that stairs actually, that is the key thing for this. There is now a staircase to that spiral staircase in the back for the offensive team to use as they're trying to make the space in there. They've got map room hold kind of coming out, Murphy and the medic Gedu trying to hold in there, but Joe coming in with some aggression, gonna try and find that. Mini's built now from Lily, denying a lot of the ground here as the cart is slowly going in and they're getting flanked.
They have to get the combo out of this defensive position. They actually got that poker there in the nick of time going down, but Mezzo coming in, swooping in, getting Layla. Jackie like is doing some stuff, he's actually still living, getting the big health. I mean, Edgy gets a pick, but they actually have their players survive, which is incredible. And Gedu dies as well, so many players are going down.
Ajay is like actually going huge right now. He's done so much for his team, like just pretty much most of this map. I guess there's medic there as well as the power on the cart. Gonna try and get some space here as well. Joe gets the roller kill on the demo like a bit before as well, but Wiethoofd's trying to get in. No one else is really on the cart though. Middle's trying to come in now. Gonna try and shoot his mini. He's getting distracted though. All the spawners come in. There's too many people to try and kill here. As Poker's set up now in map room and they need to try and clear this out. Ajay now with 3 kills in a row basically onto Poker. Like Poker's last 3 deaths have been to Ajay, so really well played to try and get these picks.
But in the end result, you know, they haven't even kept it. I can relate to this, like as a spy you carry, you know, you get so many picks, but the flank of the defense just stayed on and actually survived and got so many frags. They're still doing stuff, like Jackie is doing so much, they're still surviving. They're staying in these passive positions, actually getting so much frags. And actually Wiethoofd is trying to spearhead this now, actually walks alone, he was alive for so long, he actually gets Degu. How is this allowed to happen?
Degu doesn't move out of the way. Like he was relying too much on Yahoo to just airblast the pyro back, but there's only so many times you can airblast him back, and you know the flames can still hit you from that range. I don't know why he didn't just like go back for a few seconds while like Wiethoofd is being dealt with, but no, it just stays in there, and now Poker's left here with no heals, so Oka's probably easy to take this. Adder's on the cart, and last second jump in from Yahoo doesn't manage it, so 9-minute times are very similar payload times actually. Doesn't really matter about the map, it's usually between 8 and 9 minutes, so yeah, these team's been quite close for these games, but we'll have to see how it kind of develops here.
Yeah, but these A-Link teams need crutch stairways and crutch new flanks to work off, and it's still only 9 minutes. But in general, what you pointed out, I think I mean, they pushed through backstairs there in the in this kind of last push that almost worked for them, but in the end they also had like 5 picks beforehand, so I don't know if that changed all that much. They literally just had to take all this aggression in from tracks, but then it basically just devolved to this very messy fight of Edgy constantly killing players, but Feila players just feeding into a flank that just didn't die and just played it very well on the defense. So I think they basically, it looked so well, you know, I mean, they threw so hard. I feel like they really made it hard for themselves to push the first point, especially like the scrits and everything. Then on the second point they actually were held there, even though like Wiethoofd is sometimes easy to crack down. Then they got the third point, amazing. The third point is where you like get so much time, but then they basically, I don't know, just get stalled so much once again. So I can just feel the hype growing and then just completely dying out once again, you know.
Yeah, it comes crashing down after some of their pushes and just get denied. But I mean, I think importantly they kept the pressure on during that time. But either way, we're going to be moving into this sort of next round for them. But Jackie is trying to go for a bit of a bomb through tunnel maybe, but he's trying to make some space. But no forces just yet. Trying to push up this cart, I think. But Kaza, interestingly, in this tunnel, they're trying to pick up Rovo.
The jump. No, once again, just a strike.
Bait jump. They're trying to psych out
as well, by the way. He's just telling us stuff in the background, which is just not happening. By the way, there comes by now the suicide wave. Once again, just so much damage. That's so weak. Oh, she no! She Kratos.
She doesn't use when she's falling down. No, the travesty again.
That's another aneurysm for my collection.
Jackie just put like OMFG. Oh, it never ends. It never ends.
Layla uses swear words in chat, in English languages as well. Use Polish, we can't tell. Copy is so far forward, he gets picked, but I mean, they still have this full Uber now, and they're just going to walk in essentially. Oh, yeah. Murphy gets completely checked out, almost died there to the sentry gun, but they're just going to clean other players up there on the high ground. How is this gun still alive?
Yeah,
finally
no
alive. Jesus Christ.
Doesn't focus at all. Murphy's getting damaged out. This is an interesting pushback in from the flank though. If the Feila flank have had enough of SDCK. Lucas trying to make some space. Ooh, nice shot from Kaza. Picks off the scout there. As Lenny's to live again. Lenny's getting picked off again by May. Oh no, why are they still in here? I don't know why they're still committed for this. Joe's gonna get picked up as well. They're gonna try not to get their hole going on roof, but Ghetto's now on a 50% ad, so I don't know, a bit of an interesting transition here. Jackie going for a very early bombing as well.
Yeah, I'm going to witch hunt, well, Cloaked Spy on top there. The issue really is, I think, that, well, Joe just calls I hit every pipe, like he literally got 4 pipe hits in a row, you know. I actually piped, I think, Decloaked Spy as well there, a Cloaked Spy rather, and then Layla is still in there committed. I actually just realized that there is no gate on the second point. Good on me. Interesting. They're actually going to regroup on the third point, but yeah, we have to see. They still have this huge Uber ad there onto Diego.
Yeah, and they're going to be holding close. I don't know why they're holding close to the Uber ad. Uber disad, sorry. They're going to be coming in through this house. Uber comes in. Oh, they're relying on Vclox, so Vclox is over here. They're going to be trying to deny this Uber. Okay, I suppose that's why they're held close, so that's fair enough from them. Maybe they should have gone from tracks, but I mean that kind of works out in their favour since all the players went in one place rather than spread out. But they're trying to pressure in now. The gun actually isn't really up either. Yeah, Mezzo getting that stab onto the NG as well, but a lot of pressure coming in now. Poker on a lot of health, could be walking in here, and yeah, this is a non-existent third hold after that Uber.
So much space given there. What you mentioned, really good deny from Vclox, you know, but you have this on lockdown. Why do, like the rest of the combo, why do 4 players need to watch a Pyro who can deny a Uber by himself, you know? And then basically nobody actually gave any love to tracks, and then they literally all funneled in through tracks SDCK, and then they just basically won the third point by just getting a lot of space and frags onto tracks.
God, they really hate Layla right now. There's so many people just trying to dive in. Middle of some, oh, there we go, finally gets the sandwich out to Layla there, so she's on 100%. Mezzo trying to walk in with this dead ringer, he does get caught out by the flames of Yahoo. I mean, sorry, of Vclox, they could hold this ramp, but Kaza is so importantly just watching the sight line. Jackie goes in front of the bomb, holding on ramp again.
Oh, that's wrong! It's symptomatic!
It happens again! It never ends, Domaytoe.
I can't even post my binds, I'm not in the Twitch chat.
No.
But right now, they're actually going to, let's see if they can screw this Uber up. They're actually going to flash very early into a Vanguard level 3 sentry gun, actually going to kill it, but the card is really far back. They actually have some player time to regroup their players, actually get them coordinated together and congregated together, but they're actually just having to fight Poco, who's overhealed and just doesn't die, he's still on tracks, and oh my god, it's just getting bad for worse for them, honestly.
Yeah, Poke's getting arrowed, he's just unkillable on this low ground, there's 11 like managed to kill him yet. I think he's actually run out of ammo because he's been shooting that many things. Got Mezzo just trying to deny them on this high ground, Poke's still on the low ground, they're trying to build the sentry, it's level 1 finally. Getting the cart in, got some from the cart. Big Dog comes in, trying to deny this. Oh, Upku comes in from the back. Wiethoofd's trying to find something, the spawners come in, can they deny this cart? Robo comes in, gets some decent rockets down. Poke's still alive though, he's mowing everything down. And yeah, no, this is pretty much GG, I think. Wow.
It's once again symptomatic, as we pointed out earlier. They are spawned at the same time, Feila there, and I think it's a really good presentiment on what has been happening the entire game, because they have 4 or 5 players alive at the same time, but then they just fuddle in like 1 or 2 seconds apart from each other, so it's just easy pickings for the offense, rather. SDCK just going to kill single players, 3v1, they're going to be happily just take that fight all day long in every situation they can in. But yeah, I mean, they've been really on Layla's heels here, and I can definitely just feel the morale rising there onto SDCK as they just have the game firmly in their grip, as they're probably going to feel like it, and I don't think that it's straying far from the actual reality.
Wait, in the chat they just put Layla RQ?
Joe picked out the Ethernet cable.
Is this actually a Layla rage quit? Are we seeing this live? Chat, I don't know. Layla's just left the server. I think that's right. Genji's gonna merc for them, it's fine. So they'll just swap meds, so one team will have a medic, I'm sure that'll work out fine.
I haven't experienced that in the last 10 years, so I don't know what is up with that. Maybe this was just...
Is she rejoining? I think, she's rejoining, chat. No, we're okay, chat. We're still going. We're still live with this.
Just as a backup option, maybe we have some merc medics in Twitch chat for retainer, so
yeah,
when they maybe need someone, just shout really loud and post your most funny bind, which uses all the all the wordplays that are available to a 13-year-old. But yeah, we'll have to see who qualifies here. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's just a lot of mayhem. I feel like it's really difficult to analyze, really.
Yeah, there's just okay. In all seriousness, though, I think there's a lack of respect for Murphy and Jackie Legs and where they're going to be, how they're going to do it. All right, so that's the first thing. Second thing is there's just fundamental like positioning flaws because of that lack of respect. They're just because they've got this aggression coming in from Jackie and from Murphy. The rest of the team just comes in, but they're not able to clean those players that are jumping in like up quick enough, and it just leads to catastrophe really, because everyone else just starts going down. People lose the 1v1s, and because they're on offense, they don't care because they just spawn faster. They have the telly up, etc., etc., and it just kind of catapults into a massive push basically. Even when they get all the default spawns up at the same time, they're still able to clutch it out. So I don't know. There just needs to be massive sort of positioning changes or changes around how they're using the Uber from Feila.
Yeah, you might have someone might say, I mean, they're going to get cheeky, and maybe Feila does not expect this. First of all, Feila should expect this. This is an obvious point. The second point is also, if a flank goes completely unchecked, and you have a flank that basically can't get dealt with and basically out-DMs everyone, it is quite clear why the team that just wields this flank is going to win, because that would probably be happening in every other situation as well, because you already have 3 players who are just pounding everything that gets in their way, and you don't have an answer to that. And in the result of that, it just means that a sniper has so much space because nobody's really focusing him, and then the combo just doesn't need to slip up, just play very properly and actually stable together. And in all of that, you basically have a team that is very well oiled together, and it doesn't have any cracks, which a very offensive team, I might repeat myself, but a very offensive team like Feila relies on, that they actually get traits that are in their favor, but they don't get any traits that are in their favor. So yeah, they basically have to switch their strategies up, which is a big step, because usually they just play the same way and just see what happens, just see if maybe now the DM favors them, but the DM hasn't favored them in this entire match, so now they have to switch up their entire strategies.
Well, here we go. Going to be expecting this first suicide wave. Yahoo tries to give a bit of a jetpack, gets denied by the body shot. But Jackie Legs not actually bait bombing this time, going straight in. Gets the rocket onto Layla. Layla just needs to use this dispenser like Getty was using. Oh, nice find onto Mezzo actually, trying to go for that close declo.
And also, the offense doesn't own headphones. Like, Who was that? Edge literally decloaked behind like Spamfest and the sniper. They didn't turn around. After they screamed for 1000 decibel. Maybe they are just used to Joe screaming so loud, but right now there comes a big jump once again.
Ooh.
But Layla hides in the dispenser.
Yeah, I thought the dispenser blowing up was Layla's like Gibbs then. I was like, what? But no, stays alive. Mezzo kind of again with this close. Trying to get in here. Needs the Pirates to try and spy check this. Oh, Joe finds it though. Screams that in the chat. Gonna get that kill as Jackie Legs tries to go for a bit of a bomb. Lily's still got this gun though. They're gonna take this trade. Joe gets maybe caught out by this. Yeah, goes down to the full damage.
Oh, he needed to be safe there. I don't know. I mean, now they have this full Uber defensive Uber, but I don't know if it works out for them. They're actually going to stabilize the situation. I was quite critical because they dropped Joe there, and literally everyone looked at him and see that he would die from that. And in essence, they actually stabilized here. Yeah, but Layla right now is just sullen. She will not be made a fool out of once again. She's actually quite resilient here, but Joe, he spawns, takes the tally, gets face stepped.
Yeah, Lily isn't able to keep the gun up either with the rescue rangers, so they're going to be trying to walk the way in here. No damage to deny them. Nice bombing from Robo actually gets some decent damage down. The Uber comes out in return, and Getty manages to get out, importantly, so, you know, decent sort of running away there, as coordinated as the team. So they're maybe going to wait for this ad. Murphy getting aggressive very quickly, though. Carby gets caught out by that aggression. As Jack goes in for another bomb. Actually manages to pogo jump off of Roboprod's head accidentally, so that was a weird jump, but going to be trying to aggress in here very soon.
Yeah, also the cut is really far back, by the way. I mean, they're just emphasizing all their progress there onto the hill, but actually getting denied a great deal. Their V-Clock's doing really a lot of stuff, actually going to force them out, and they flashed 3 players. The Uber was almost halfway over, and then V-Clock just had to deny the rest of the Uber as they don't get any progress here, which is really good for Feila. They're just keeping them at bay. The cut is further on, rolling backwards. Mezzo is actually winning the 1v1 there against Utkan, actually going to push the cart a little bit, but maybe it's giving Feila the life back once again.
Copy, goes for the peak on the left side. Is he going to find anything? Is he going to jump this? No. Yep. Ooh, gets the headshot to the sniper rather than the medic, but either way, there's a lot of pressure coming down right now. Got Lily, got Clark wrangling his minis trying to shoot this gun as Jackie Legs goes for another bomb in. Gets some decent damage onto the building. This gets reflected by V-Clocks though as Copy goes down to the Pyro in return. Uber comes in. Gedu might get picked off here. Oh, big rocket there from Robo. So
oh no!
There we go.
Why?
Oh, Layla.
Oh no!
Wait, what?
Yeah. Jesus Christ! Sorry, I wanted to really say they have good coordination because a sniper was watching Layla and she actually popped completely fair play onto him. She pops onto a scout, then they chase, almost get Gedu. Oh, Jesus.
Robopod in the meantime though, big jump onto Getty though, holy crap. She's going to be getting that nice damage onto that medic, denying that even further, but yeah, sorry to interrupt, but big bomb there.
They have 5 players pushing past the Rangled level 1 sentry gun, everybody chases Degu, and then Layla is without Uber in front of the Rangled level 1 sentry gun. This is basically just a summary of what we've seen there, and right now though there comes all the pressure forward.
Yeah, Layla's still kind of aggressive here with the demo, going to be run out. Okay, it does manage to live there, so going to be sort of waiting for a second. Jackie with a big bomb! No, it's a bait bomb. Okay, typical Jackie. He's gonna be living there for a bit.
Robopod at Badwater second. Let's see. With the help of
really?
With the help of Mezzo. Well, he's just chasing him. 1v1 against Soldier 1v1.
Oh,
he wins! Ah, Jackie wins.
Oof. We're taking this momentum though quickly into third. Actually on minis right now. Really opting for minis. Probably, you know, fed up of having level 3 die all the time. Gonna try and deny the space with that. Joe goes down though to some full damage as he tries to sort of overextend there and stays in a bit too long as Kaz is sort of waiting out. Mezzo gets the stab onto Carpi as well, but Adej does his best to kill Kaza here, but isn't going to find that. Uber comes out on this but Layla's actually on 95, so but they don't have the players for this at all.
Yeah, I was to say, oh yeah, typical. Yeah, they get the force there. I don't think it will get all that much done.
What is this, Uber?
I mean, they got forced there. Joe dies again, by the way. This is basically the story that we've seen the last couple of minutes. Layla dies there as well. It's only Carpi up, only 1 up. They chased so hard. I don't know why they chased so hard. They basically got wiped there. I wanted to say, oh yeah, it's typical Joe play. He jumps in because he's on the offense, and Kratos there. Kratos on the defense when they want to defend a 3rd point. So that is that. Murphy though, retaliation frag there dies. Almost 5 minutes for 3 points.
Come on, I'm just hoping like Coffee is like the one person on their team that just hasn't given up yet and is just gonna try and coach this back in. As yeah, just gonna try and push this cart forward. Kaza gets a headshot onto him, I think, but yeah, got Gedu on a decent ad as well. They're trying to clear out map him a bit because it's giving them a bit of trouble, but we're trying to get themselves in there very soon.
I give him the the favor of the doubt and just say it's some ambiguity in their comms that just leads to Joe literally dying 24/7 in the past couple of minutes. Big sticks, pipes rather, sorry, killing Mezzo and May completely shuts down the actual initial forward pressure onto the card, which means now the combo actually has to rotate to the card. There's so much pressure actually going on. Who's that? Gedo is still into the shadow area, but they're actually going to regroup. Copy dies. They have all the ground there on the high ground that they can wish for.
They're not clearing this ramp area though. Murphy's just neglected the people pushing ramp, and now he's going to get picked off by the scout and the demo and the soldier. As Layla's going to be a lot safer actually in this underspace now. Mezzo going for a bit of a stab, doesn't find it though, as the gun and the pyro is there to deny that. But okay, maybe they'll stabilize it. I'm hoping Feila hasn't completely given up here. This isn't over for them just yet. There is another map if they manage to bring this back, so we'll have to see what they can do.
Yeah, Copy is still showing belligerence. Maybe he can just actually get his other players, onto the same wavelengths, because the issue really there was for SDCK. They just stayed on the high ground. Maybe they read the manuals. High ground is advantage, but high ground is only advantage if you actually make something out of that. They just lingered around, dicking around, do nothing. Right now though, there comes a synchronized Sap coordinate suicide wave, but Murphy's Layla gets piped!
This is why, this is the one disadvantage of the of the Feila defense in that corner, because they used to run that all the time, and I always said to myself, all that takes is a Sap, and that entire corner spam is going to force the medal drop, and that is exactly what happened. Mezzo comes in with a perfectly timed Sap, as Jackie Legs dies and Murphy comes in with the second bomb, they get the drop, so now Gedu is going to come in with some decent ad.
This is usually the suicide wave that we see from Feila. I don't know why it is taking SDCK only for this game. I think this is definitely where they can improve here, but Mezzo's onto Layla. Oh, no, they push through the backstairs once again. They have over disadvantage, going to completely catch her out. Middle is so weak, he's actually still staying alive. They're actually going to kill the ranked level 3 sentry gun. Getting so much pressure here, actually, so much damage. Killing players, it's only V-clocks onto lower left spawn. He's still surviving, he's still chasing Gebu, but actually gets killed there, and they just had them once again on the doorstep. They just surprised him so much by this backstairs push.
Yeah, now Jay's just left alone. Mezzo gets to stab on some pretty easily. Clarksville doesn't need to deny anything else, and there we go. That's going to be a pretty... Oh, maybe not. Oh, okay, there we go, yeah. Okay, so, well, just... I don't know, just utter chaos, really, but I think just there's too many forces and just too many lack of Ubers, like good Ubers coming out from Feila right now. Like, especially that Uber where they kind of just Ubered on... I don't even know whether that was a force, in fairness, like where they were kind of just on that corner and then they solo Uber a pyro around. It was just very strange behavior, but if it was a force, fair enough, but I don't know, just a lack of good Ubers.
But you can play this play stance onto Joe, who cratered on the defense there, and basically that left them without a demo on Badwater third for 15 seconds. I mean, she can Uber, she can also not Uber, like, what's the difference? I mean, maybe the difference is that you actually have give them some pressure forward, some advantages rather, the offense, so they can actually push easier into the last point, because they almost wiped from trying to make a solo pyro Uber on their last into the offense. Good, they almost wiped from that, so that was that. Yeah. But then again, they stabilized. The issue is what you said. I mean, they are not coordinated there onto Feila, but what we just saw from SDCK, like, that was so coordinated, like really coordinated suicide wave, drop from Feila. I mean, given the circumstance that this is I don't know what this hold is, but where would you otherwise hold, but it was just a good suicide wave, and then they basically just pushed with a Highlander meta game with a big Uber, advantage through backstairs. So, I don't know, I think there's just a big difference there in playstyles.
Well, there we go. First suicide wave comes in. Everyone just getting floated up in the sky. Demo, Pyro, and Soldier all getting floated to their deaths by the heavy and the gun. Could be having Gedu to sing in this dispenser pretty safe for now. Got sticks coming out from Murph onto this top right rock as well to deny any sort of close jumps in. Got Kaz actually peeking quite aggressively here. And this suicide, well, kind of comes in. Some preparation for it. Going with the Joe Zone bomb. He actually goes for the telly, which is probably the smart play actually. It's just quite smart from Joe, since the Spy is probably not worthwhile walking all that way behind, and he's on Sticky Jumper.
For old school players, by the way, this is not the Joe zone, but Cadis. Cadis jumping in, Kato, he's doing the Kato, coming from behind, actually getting force. Big force there, Layla is safely out, still in spawn, actually good coordination, finally some last fight coming up. They're actually going to find Edgy though onto the hill, but we'll have to see, as maybe they want to make amends, because they still have 6.5 minutes. That's a decent time. You can work with that. Let's see what Feila still have in the back, as they have this full Uber advantage to push into SDCK.
Okay, I'm just hoping that they call sticks around these corners. I mean, I don't think there is any. I think there's like 1 or 2. But yeah, hopefully they don't drop these sticks, or like, actually there are some sticks on this corner to deny them from coming up here quickly. I mean, they're going to be bringing to a pyro, so I'm surprised they don't just go like cliff with this, or rocks maybe, but I don't know, because Yahoo's going to air blast them off in like the next 10 seconds if they come in with this. They're also losing out if they don't go within the next like 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, what are they doing? They're literally just eating pipes, so many pipes.
No.
Oh no! Wiethoofd into the skybox,
yeah.
Nothing! Jesus Christ, the denial of this Uber just completely going to push them back. Joe also dying there. Middle is going to get caught out there because so weak. Headshot as well. Poker's the only pick they get from this entire advantage push.
Layla? Gosh, she's walking in very far with Utka then. Jesus, we've got Robo coming in with a bit of a bomb.
Oh! Wow! That's the drop. Yeah,
Yikes.
no dispenser. Degu going to take the +2.
Yeah, no dispenser Robo for you this time, Gedu, as he gets picked off by Robo. Robo actually coming in with some decent bombs. Managed to get in before on his first, like when they were trying to push in. So he'd been definitely turned up for his team recently. V-Clocks is like trapped in the shot behind. F's in chat for V-Clocks as Jackalix picks him up there. They send Jackalix here? Please tell me they've sent. Okay, they have sent Jackalix. Wait, was that? Oh no!
Big distraction.
Mezzo goes in with the stab. Layla down again. It starts again, boys.
Oh god, they have now congregated onto a roof vault and only have 5 minutes to push. The second has a big jump though. Roboprod is getting body shot close range there. So many picks just once again. Only 3 players up with Layla being a respawn. They're going to witch hunt Utka there in the back lines as well. That might be the morale breaker. They really have to crack the second point down in the next 1 minute at the very least, and then they probably have a chance.
Yeah, get it on out as well. Mezzo's going to be sort of sitting on these rocks calming whatever's going on right now. Poker, Murphy, well, Murphy now, and actually, yeah, Poker's in this bunker area, so this is interesting. I wonder if they'll see him here. Blade will probably drop down.
Oh no, yes, he
sees the medic. There we go. Yeah.
Oh god, and like Mezzo did this, like you can just see this. I don't know, this mind play. What do we say to the god of death,
right, actually, I will say one thing. Any medics watching this, right, please don't, like, walk in front of your team like that. Even if you're trying to get pressure, try and go backwards rather than forwards, especially if you know most of the enemies in front. Because stuff like that will happen, and you'll get caught out to sticks and soldiers and scouts and that sort of thing. But I may even try to go for the later pick again, get slated down to half health. Unlucky. As V-Clocks calls the GG with 3.5 minutes left. Okay.
That's a rough game. Oh,
oh no! The sight lines as well. Also remember the sight lines as well. Playing medic.
Yeah.
Basics.
No. Also remember to not stay forward when having Uber disadvantage. What else? Really basic stuff. Roboprod joined Team Spectator.
Interesting. In default win? Oh wait, no, obviously it's them. Never mind, it's the other team, so I don't think they really care right now. Yeah, you can tell they've just given up right now. So I mean, this is pretty much just downtime at this point. I don't think they really care. We're just lost the will to live. Roboprod joined back now, so I don't know, maybe he's going to get bored and go for another bomb. Who knows?
Yeah, they're swapping classes, as we hear from the almighty little man in our ears. Let's see. They didn't swap their blue medic out though. What did they swap out?
We got Robo on heavy. We got middle on demo. We got Joe on soldier. So we have to see if middle demo. Oh yes, the middle iron bomber demo. This is legendary. Let's see if this can do anything. He's on shield as well. Yes. Yeah, he's on shield. Yeah. He's doing so much damage. They're winning already. This is what they needed. They needed middle on demo. Let's go.
Yeah, there was a big distraction jump in, by the way, from Lily, who is that from Spamfest, from Lilypad, just jumping through tracks and basically forcing out the ice, and there's still Gedu onto the low ground, and hello, my game just crashed.
Oh no. Well, I mean, you didn't really miss much. They just spawned again in this cleaned up roof, so...
Give me the radio cast.
Yeah, the radio cast ink, but never mind, it's still on the camera. Casting as we go, but we take a lot of damage on this track. Jacky Legs pushing them out still. V-Clocks comes in though with a bit of a W play, kills a few things with the help of Utka. I missed that roof push, but I mean, many people going down. Getty's still alive in the spawn though, gonna be backing out to Boiler by the looks of it. Doesn't get sniped on his way out, so we set up this third with 1 minute and 40 seconds left.
I'm rejoining. I'm believing though. I'm believing from.
You're believing.
I'm believing, even though
that's all that matters.
I believe that I got DDoS probably from Clark or something. Doesn't have the acquiescence that we can actually see Feila having a comeback, and then winning the third map, obviously. But I'm slowly talking and getting back into the server, so let's see what we can make do. Maybe I even missed the.
Now
Wiethoofd game
and apparently we've just got DDoS, so this will be a radio cast if you can still hear me. It is now 1944 and it is World War II. Welcome to the radio cast that it is become, and get you they're going down again. So there's that. Uber comes out on the side of SDCK. Going to be defending this third point pretty calmly. The GD's getting called in chat finally for the opposing teams.
If I were on Feila, my main call would be we push front stairs now on the third point.
Alright, yeah. Well, I'll be honest, there's probably not much chance of them getting there at this point. I mean, Clark's got his level 3 up, everyone's just forwards. Got Kaza getting some forward snipes as well. V-Clock's on demo. Just jumping in. Jackie Legs trying to find some returning frags. We had 2 heavies. We have 4 heavies on the side of Feila. So, yeah, if in doubt, just get 9 heavies. You'll probably win the game. That's
I really like competitive Highlander as well. I like that we have a prize pool here. These teams are taking it very seriously here to win their keys. But yeah, I mean, it was basically garbage time. It's 3 heavies against an Uber. Okay.
Feels bad, man. Well, there we go. That is definitely a GG. Unfortunate about the disconnections at the end there. Sorry, apologies for the technical difficulties, but you got the gist of the game there for those last few minutes anyway. So not like much was being missed, but that will be a pretty solid win for SDCK in that Russian Highlander Grand Final against Feila, taking it both maps on Upward different version and Badwater different version.
I think it's always interesting to see. I don't think Feila are incapable of actually winning this, but you can just see how slowly the ball gets dragged out of their court, and just SDCK just playing consistently, just consistent, just so good and all the time, and literally no cracks. And then they just have so many people just on lane and just demoralizing players, and also just Joe dying so much there to pick classes was insane to see, and they just win off that, just putting them on the edge of their seats. They just have no concentration there anymore, I feel like, in the end.
Yeah, it's been fortunate really, because like you said, I really do feel like they have the DM to contest. It's mainly just a coordination and an Uber thing. If I will say this, if Layla didn't die as much and they managed to get some more Ubers out, I really feel like some of their pushes could have worked if they got in and coordinated. So I don't know. It's just a bit of a shame, really. Unlucky, as people would say.
#unlucky, yeah.
But I think we'll be looking at some logs possibly. Very, very, very nice people who combine logs.
We have. First for PL Badwater Bro, whoever was a real bro, or Clark. Okay, so he's not a real bro, but he combined the logs for us. It's Badwater combined logs there. I look at medics first. Degu dropped once bad medic, but yeah, I mean, I think this was quite the one-sided game there. I mean, the first 6 players are SDCK players kill-wise. There is 253 frags for SDCK to the 191 frags of Feila. There's quite a disparity into Ubers, big disparity into KDs, and damage as well. I mean, you can look at logs and say SDCK won, but you could probably guess that from the game if you watch the game, So logs are suspendable, but in essence, do you see any lightning routes there for Feila? Maybe Joe getting getting some frags there, but I feel like also Corpy is a bit low there, so I don't know. It got bad for worse for them, honestly.
Yeah, well, because they were going in they're getting picked off one by one, and then they didn't really sort of regroup too much, or they weren't allowed to regroup just because of the pressure coming in from the flank, Jackie Legs constantly going in and Mezzo finding the frags or whatever it was. There wasn't much space for Corpy to do anything, and there wasn't much space for Joe. I mean, Joe would be trying to make the space, but again, because of that timing issue, it was sort of just very back and forth as to whether they're in or not, and because of the double Ubers from Gedu, just constantly getting pushed back with invincible players, and there's not much you can do about that, unfortunately. I mean, Joe, I will say that like Joe, constantly doing a lot of damage. But the key thing there is like, I mean, you'll immediately see it is that Murphy and Joe have like pretty much similar kills, but Murphy like half the deaths essentially. So his team, the team is obviously being a lot more together in what they're doing, and the pick classes and the flank coming in strong. So, a very strong performance from just every individual. Yahoo, I think in particular in this entire series has done really well for SDCK, doing a lot of good reflects, even from when Robo was trying to jump in and doing some spiding on to Ajay, as good as Ajay was doing in some situations. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Yahoo really performing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, also I wanted to Wiethoofd quickly the overall combined logs, because what I've been also seeing is that, what you mentioned, I mean, the Joe died there like a lot more than Murphy, which is usually not so good, because it doesn't matter so much about the frags per se on Demoman, but it matters how much your demo dies, and he basically died, well, almost 1/3 less than Joe, and there was just... Let's summarize this. The failure place there was not working. They were not synced up in the suicide wave. They were just dying constantly, and SDCK just had clinical pushes and just people constantly frolicking forward, killing Layla, getting Joe, getting just their grip onto the game. Easy games for them. So yeah, Buck, I don't know, I'm a bit off taken there. Also, copy is a bit low, so I don't know, maybe I don't know what happened there really. I feel like it just, it just spirals down at some point, so maybe no point there anymore to actually point numbers onto players, except I want to make Layla feel good and also combine this with a shoutout. Don't worry, Layla, only 4 drops. Mars used to drop 5 times in 30 minutes in Season 11. Shout out to Mars. So, yeah.
You just had to shut that in there, didn't you?
Just wrapping this game up. Yeah, I'm going to have to be chastised in Discord, in the German Discord, I can already tell you. Anyway, though, as this was basically the Russian Grand Final. Quickly, Wiethoofd, what was the prize pool? Do we know in... 50 keys and serve me premium. So finally, Clark can reserve can reserve servers once again and take 30 minutes to start late, and then they can have 50 keys to basically get, I don't know what they buy from that. Maybe
bribe.
Basically bribe, exactly. Fantastic. Yeah. That's my kind of players that I support. But yeah, anyway, thanks you for watching this game tonight. This was the Russian Grand Final Season 4. SDCK taking 2 maps over Feila eSports clutch game. Interesting game at some point, but I have been Domaytoe, I'm still Domaytoe, and I've been with Buck and Wiethoofd on the camera, so everything went well, especially because you watched this. You are the people that keep this Twitch channel alive, because you are the viewers, which are the most important part, because without you we wouldn't even be here. So thanks everyone who tuned in. Have a wonderful remaining Monday evening and keep on watching and playing Highlander. See you.
Hi, old beaver! Away!